Are you having sleepless nights because your mind just won't quiet down? Lying awake, your mind racing with thoughts, worries, and what-ifs. It's exhausting, isn't it? Overthinking can feel like a silent storm, stealing your sense of calm and leaving you emotionally drained. It's common to get caught replaying the past, stressing over the future, or obsessing about the present. If you're exhausted by the constant mental chatter and searching for stillness, know that you're not alone. The timeless wisdom of Buddhism holds gentle yet powerful insights to help quiet the mind. In this video, we'll uncover 7 essential Buddhist principles that can lead you to a more centered, peaceful, and clear way of being. Join us as we walk this path toward inner serenity. 1. Let go of what you can't change. Are you exhausting yourself trying to fix things beyond your reach? Our minds often spin with endless thoughts, replaying events we wish had gone differently or imagining worst-case scenarios that may never happen. We grasp tightly to situations we think we should control, but in doing so, we only create more suffering for ourselves. Buddhism teaches a liberating truth. It's not the outside world that causes us pain, but our resistance to it. The Buddha spoke of suffering as something born from our attachments, not from the things themselves, but from our unwillingness to accept them as they are. When we cling to the idea that we must control every outcome, we invite tension, fear, and frustration into our lives. So how do we release ourselves from this mental trap? It begins with acknowledging reality as it is, without trying to bend it to our will. When we accept that not everything is within our control, we loosen the grip of anxiety. We begin to see that peace is not found in fixing everything, but in choosing how we respond. Pause for a moment and gently ask yourself, am I holding on to something I cannot change? If so, why? The simple act of recognizing this can be the first step toward relief. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means freeing yourself from the burden of carrying what was never yours to control in the first place. There's a well-known story in Buddhist tradition. A traveler comes across a man straining to push a huge rock up a steep hill. The man is clearly exhausted, yet he refuses to stop. When asked why he continues, the man replies, "Because I must move it." The traveler looks at him and calmly says, "But it was never blocking your path." This story reminds us how often we create our own obstacles by fighting battles that don't need to be fought. When we stop resisting what is and release the compulsion to manage every detail, we open ourselves to flow with life rather than against it. Letting go is not an act of surrendering to weakness. It's choosing inner strength. It's stepping away from unnecessary struggle and allowing peace to rise in its place. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize serenity was never far. It was simply waiting behind all that effort. 2. Thoughts are temporary guests, not your true self. There are countless occasions when our own thoughts feel like they are closing in on us, pressing heavily against our hearts and minds. In those moments, it seems as though we are drowning in an endless sea of anxieties, doubts, memories, and fears. Our inner world becomes crowded and noisy, like a sky filled with relentless, churning clouds that block out the sun. Past regrets, present worries, and future uncertainties all swirl together, making it difficult to find even a single breath of calm. It's easy to feel trapped in that thick mental fog, longing for a way out. However, the teachings of the Buddha offer a gentle and profound path through this inner turbulence. He encourages us not to resist the storm, but instead to recognize the true nature of our thoughts. Thoughts, he reminds us, are no more permanent than clouds drifting through an endless sky. They are not fixed. They arise, change, and disappear, often without warning or reason. Just as we would not mistake a passing cloud for the vast sky itself, we should not confuse the flow of thoughts with our true, deeper selves. One of the Buddha's timeless observations says, "With our thoughts, we create the world." This teaching invites us to see that while thoughts have influence, it is our attachment to them that shapes our reality. Every time we cling to a thought, identifying with it, believing it, absolutely, we build a little piece of the world we experience. But if we instead allow our thoughts to come and go, without grasping or resisting, we are no longer trapped by them. They lose their power to dominate our inner landscape. Imagine for a moment sitting quietly beside a slow-moving river. As you watch the water flow by, you notice leaves and small branches gently riding the current. You don't feel the need to reach out and grab each passing leaf. You understand that the river is always moving, always carrying things along, and you can simply sit, watch, and let it be. Our thoughts are like those drifting leaves, constantly arising and moving on. We do not need to grab each one, analyze it, or hold on to it tightly. In the same spirit, when a thought surfaces, whether it stirs up anxiety, sadness, or excitement, we can simply observe it without judgment. We can note its arrival and its departure, treating it as a guest that visits but never stays permanently. Over time, practicing this non-attachment leads to a profound shift. The mind grows quieter. The endless storm of overthinking gradually loses its strength, revealing the peaceful space that was always beneath it. It's important to understand that letting go of thoughts doesn't mean we deny their existence or try to forcibly push them away. Suppressing thoughts only adds more tension. Instead, we cultivate the ability to notice thoughts without clinging, much like watching clouds drift across a blue sky without trying to shape them. They are allowed to appear and disappear naturally. Another teaching of the Buddha reminds us, our life is the creation of our mind. We become what we think. When we recognize this, we see how crucial it is to choose wisely where we place our attention. Negative, restless, or harmful thoughts will come, and they will go. But if we refuse to give them fuel, they lose their ability to define our experience. By creating a habit of mindful detachment, we make space for wisdom, clarity, and inner peace to flourish. In this way, life becomes less burdensome. We are no longer carried away by every fear, every old memory, every passing worry. Instead, we remain grounded in the deeper awareness that watches it all without becoming entangled. Our thoughts can continue to come and go, but they no longer rule us. Just as no temporary weather pattern can alter the fundamental nature of the sky, no fleeting thought has the power to change the essence of who you truly are. You are the vastness behind the thoughts, the silent witness to the ever-changing play of the mind. As you move through each day, practice remembering this truth. You are not the content of your mind. Your thoughts are visitors, nothing more. Allow them to arise. Allow them to fade. Do not clutch them to your chest or let them steer your course. When you stop attaching deep significance to every thought, you will discover a profound spaciousness within yourself, a place where peace, clarity, and true freedom naturally dwell. Embrace this understanding, and life itself becomes lighter, more vivid, and filled with a quiet joy that no thought can disturb. 3. Return to the now. Have you ever noticed how often your mind drifts away from where you are? It's easy to become entangled in imagined outcomes, missed chances, or what-ifs. Sometimes we fixate on things we can no longer change, or we anticipate situations that haven't even happened, creating stress before it arrives. The mind jumps from past events to future possibilities, rarely allowing us to rest in the present. Yet, ancient Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us that peace is not found in memory or anticipation, it's found in presence. One of the Buddha's most profound reminders is this: do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. In this one teaching lies a path to mental clarity. It encourages us to release both regret and worry and come back to the one place we can truly experience life, this moment. As you take in these words, you're already living in the only moment that exists, the now. And when we shift our attention to what's unfolding right before us, without judgment or fear, we begin to uncover a calm that's been within us all along. The fog of overthinking slowly begins to lift as we learn to simply observe and accept the present as it is. A Buddhist parable tells of a monk and his apprentice walking beside a fast-flowing river. As they reached the crossing, the apprentice froze, overcome with concern about the depth and current. He imagined the worst, being pulled under, losing his footing. The elder monk smiled gently and said, "Peace comes not from knowing the water is safe, but from placing your foot with full awareness." It was a lesson not just about crossing water, but about crossing life, one step, one moment at a time. This story speaks to a deeper truth. When we focus too much on what might happen or what has already passed, we lose connection to what is. By placing our attention on the present, we move through life more gracefully, unburdened by mental noise. So take a breath. Tune in to where you are. Let this be your reminder. Peace is never in the next moment. It's in this one. 4. Rest in the flow of impermanence. All things must pass. The universe moves like an endless river, carrying all things forward in its current. Nothing clings to the banks forever. All that is born, all that rises within you, be it sorrow or joy, fear or hope, is destined to drift away with time. To exist is to change. To live is to let go. There is a great comfort hidden in this truth, though the mind often resists it. When storms of thought darken your inner sky, when your heart feels trapped by doubt or sorrow, you might believe that this pain will last forever. The mind whispers stories of permanence, convincing you that struggle is your home, but these are only illusions spun from fear. The teachings of the Buddha pierce through this illusion like sunlight through mist. All conditioned things are impermanent. Work out your liberation with devotion. His words are not sorrowful, they are a song of freedom. They call you to rise above the passing clouds of experience and recognize the vast, clear sky of your true being. Everything you experience, every burden, every grief, every restless thought is as temporary as the morning dew, vanishing with the first warmth of the sun. Your anxieties, your regrets, your aching uncertainties, they are not stone walls around you. They are waves. They come and they go. You are not bound to them. You are the witness. You are the deep stillness beneath the changing tides. Imagine sitting beside a great ancient tree. Seasons pass around it. Flowers bloom, leaves fall, winds howl, snow gently covers the earth. Yet the tree remains, rooted and patient, welcoming each season as it comes, releasing it as it goes. In the same way, you are called to trust the rhythms of impermanence. Why grasp at the petals when the flower is meant to fall? Why curse the night when the dawn is already stirring beyond the horizon? The pain you feel now, the heavy fog of overthinking, the labyrinth of worries, they are no more permanent than footprints in the sand before the rising tide. Struggle is not your essence. Struggle is a visitor. When you realize this, truly realize it, not as an idea but as a deep knowing, a door opens inside you. You find yourself no longer chained to your suffering. You watch it come and go as a guest, and in that watching, you taste true freedom. Every sunset brings the promise of another sunrise. Every ending is a quiet beginning wearing a different face. Trust this unseen movement. Rest in it as you would rest in a soft breeze. So when your heart feels heavy and your mind races with fear, lean closer to the sacred truth. This, too, will pass. This moment is a wave, not the ocean. I am not my struggle. I am the vastness that holds it. Return again and again to this knowing, like a pilgrim returning to a sacred spring. Drink from it whenever the thirst of sorrow comes. Let it remind you, you are eternal. Your troubles are but passing clouds in the endless sky of your being. Mantra for trusting impermanence. I am the sky. My thoughts are clouds. I am the river. My struggles are leaves. All things arise and pass away. I remain, vast and free. 5. Embracing simplicity, the hidden key to lasting happiness and inner peace. In the fast-moving world we inhabit today, it's incredibly easy to become engulfed by noise and confusion. Our days are crammed with obligations, constant stimuli, and a never-ending stream of demands pulling us in every direction. We find ourselves tangled in worries about careers, about relationships, about appearances, and the uncertainty of what's to come. Each new concern feels like another invisible stone added to the burden we carry, slowly weighing us down. Yet ancient Buddhist wisdom offers a clear and powerful message. The true foundation of happiness and serenity lies in simplicity. The path isn't about endless striving or chasing after distant ideals. Instead, it's about peeling away the layers of unnecessary complexity and returning to the heart of what truly nourishes us. The Buddha consistently taught that real simplicity must be cultivated not only through our actions, but within the mind itself. One of the most poignant teachings from the Dhammapada reminds us, there is no path to happiness. Happiness itself is the path. In other words, happiness isn't a prize waiting at the end of some distant journey, won through acquiring more possessions or achieving greater success. It resides within each moment, accessible when we stop entangling ourselves in needless complications and allow life's natural peace to unfold. By choosing to simplify, we free ourselves from the overwhelming pressures that modern life so often places upon us. Letting go of endless overthinking, we root ourselves once more in the present, the only place where true peace can be found. Think of the liberation that comes when you are no longer fixated on outcomes, no longer obsessed with how things could be different or better. In this spaciousness, an authentic peace quietly reveals itself. Zen philosophy has long recognized the elegance of living simply. The Japanese concept of shibumi captures this idea, the understated, unpretentious beauty that emerges from a life stripped of excess. Zen practitioners understand that profound meaning doesn't arise from complexity, but from the pure, uncluttered experience of each moment. As one Zen master put it, when life is made simple, its meaning becomes infinitely deep. This principle underpins the entire Zen approach. Through clearing away distractions and unnecessary mental clutter, we tap into a life of profound significance. When the background noise of life is quieted, a clear space opens up within us. We realize that life's richness was never hidden. It was simply overshadowed by our own distractions. Every breath, every small act, every fleeting moment is imbued with greater meaning when we stop clouding the mind with unnecessary fears and doubts. Reflect for a moment. How much of your daily mental burden is truly essential? How often do your anxieties stem from worrying about things outside your ability to influence? Much of the heaviness we carry is self-created, born from regrets about the past or fears about what might come. Yet the past is gone, and the future has not yet arrived. Only the present moment is real. In this moment, you hold the power to choose simplicity, to let go of mental noise, and to embrace the quiet peace already within your reach. Simplifying your life doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities or ignoring reality. It means shedding what is unnecessary to reveal what is essential. It means recognizing that happiness doesn't come through constant striving or reaching, but through appreciating the quiet miracles already present. The soft light of morning, a kind exchange with a friend, the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. These simple experiences contain more joy and fulfillment than any material gain could ever offer. In the stillness that simplicity creates, you begin to hear your own inner voice again. You reconnect with a part of yourself untouched by chaos or fear. True freedom comes not from having everything, but from needing little. It's not about escaping life's inevitable difficulties, but about transforming how we meet them, rooted in clarity, resilience, and peace. As you navigate your day, pause and ask yourself, what can I release? What distractions or unnecessary worries can I set down today? What can I simplify so I can live more fully? In choosing simplicity, you'll find that life doesn't just become easier. It becomes infinitely richer, more peaceful, and far more meaningful than you ever imagined. 6. Return to presence, the breath as your eternal anchor. In the restless current of modern life, where each day feels faster and fuller than the last, the mind often becomes a captive of its own ceaseless movement. Thoughts race, tumble, and collide, pulling our attention in countless directions at once. We lose ourselves in imagined futures, in remembered sorrows, in endless stories spun by the restless mind. Somewhere along the way, we forget the quiet miracle of simply being here, now. Yet within the clamor, a silent invitation remains: to practice mindfulness, to awaken to the sacredness of this very moment. Mindfulness is not a distant ideal or a complicated discipline. It is the simple, radical act of noticing, of becoming aware without judgment of what is arising within and around you, thoughts, emotions, sensations, and holding them all in the open hand of gentle acceptance. Of all the doorways into presence, the breath is perhaps the most profound. It asks for nothing. It is neither past nor future. It is always now. The breath weaves through our lives unnoticed, yet it holds the key to returning home to ourselves. When life feels too heavy, when the mind spins its tangled web, we can find refuge in the humble rhythm of our breathing. Pause. Feel the cool air enter your nostrils. Feel your chest expand. Rest for a heartbeat in the fullness of that breath. Then release it, feeling the gentle fall of the exhale. Each breath a gift, a reminder, an anchor pulling us back from the storms of thought into the vast, quiet ocean of presence. The Buddha, in his timeless wisdom, spoke of the unity between breath and mind. When the mind is serene, the breath flows freely. To guide the breath is to guide the heart. To sit with the breath is to sit with the soul itself. In breathing mindfully, we do not force the mind to be still. We simply cease to follow every restless movement it makes. Like a bird returning to its nest after a long, exhausting flight, our awareness comes back to rest in the breath. Imagine your thoughts as drifting clouds across a wide, open sky. Some clouds are light and harmless, others are dark and heavy with rain. Yet none of them can harm the vastness of the sky itself. The sky remains unchanged, whether stormy or clear. Likewise, when you rest in the breath, you realize you are not the passing clouds. You are the vast sky, vast enough to contain them all without being disturbed. The habit of chasing after every thought, of clinging to every fleeting worry or hope, leaves us exhausted. But when we surrender the need to grasp and simply observe, the mind begins to clear of its own accord. 7. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? When we are overwhelmed, when we find ourselves tangled in fears about the future or regrets about the past, we must pause and zoom out. Imagine your life as a great, unfolding tapestry. Each day is just a single thread. The worries that seem so big today, the missed call, the awkward conversation, the small mistake at work, they are tiny stitches in the grand design of your life. In 5 years, will you even remember them? In 5 years, will they hold any weight in your heart? The truth is, almost everything we are stressing about will fade away. The embarrassment will fade. The doubt will fade. Even the sharpest pain will soften into memory. When we zoom out, we see how little these troubles truly are. The mountains we thought we were climbing were only small stones on the path. The storms we thought would break us were only passing clouds. There is a deep wisdom in asking, will this matter in 5 years? It invites us to return to the present moment. It reminds us to let go of what is heavy and does not serve us. It calls us back to what truly matters: kindness, compassion, growth, and peace. As Mahasiddha Tilopa said, let go of what has passed. Let go of what may come. Let go of what is happening now. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't try to make anything happen. Relax right now and rest. Overthinking is like trying to solve 1,000 problems that do not even exist. It is chasing shadows. It is arguing with the wind. When we overthink, we exhaust ourselves over futures that may never come to pass. Instead, choose stillness. Choose presence. Breathe deeply and ask yourself, in the vastness of my life, is this truly important? When you do, you will often find that the mind's noise begins to quiet. You will find space, vast, open, and free, where peace can arise naturally. Not because the world has changed, but because you have chosen to see it differently. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky, and your thoughts are only passing clouds. You are the deep ocean, and your worries are but ripples on the surface. Every time you ask, will this matter in 5 years? You are stepping back into your true nature, spacious, wise, and free. Every time you zoom out, you are letting go of small attachments that weigh you down. You're choosing to walk lightly on the earth, with a mind as clear as the morning sky. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling into overthinking, smile gently. Place a hand over your heart. Take a slow breath and ask yourself, will this truly matter? In 5 years, you will look back and realize the things that mattered most were never the things you worried about. They were the moments you loved, the times you were kind, and the peace you found within yourself. Let today be the day you begin to let go. Not by force, but by seeing clearly. Not by fighting your mind, but by rising above it. You are already free. You only need to remember. Now that you've explored these important teachings, the next step is yours to take. Begin to apply them in your life. Allow yourself to fully experience the present moment. Release the needless thoughts that tie you to regrets of the past or worries about the future. Clear the mental clutter and simplify your path, knowing deeply that everything in life is temporary, even the hardships you may be facing now. Trust in the natural flow of change and impermanence. Never forget, your mind is an extraordinary instrument. With consistent patience and devoted practice, you can guide it to become more focused, more serene, and truly peaceful. If this message lit a fire within you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder too. Let's keep rising together, growing stronger, wiser, and more mindful every single day. Stay focused, stay fearless, and never forget, peace is already within you. All you have to do is reach for it.